so passionate about dyslexia is because of being a dyslexic person myself. I feel like I really understand that we have a responsibility to change the narrative around what we are delivering to young people in the classroom.
In a heart-wrenching revelation, Princess Beatrice has opened up about the devastating tragedy that changed her life forever: the loss of her baby. Behind the royal titles and public appearances lies a story of unimaginable grief and resilience. For the first time, the princess is sharing her emotional journey, shedding light on the pain she endured and how it shaped her into the person she is today. This is a side of Beatrice the world has never seen before. Struggles with dyslexia in childhood. From a young age, Princess Beatrice struggled to keep up in school, never truly understanding why words on a page seemed to slip away from her eyes. One day, a teacher scolded her, wondering why she stared at the instructor's face instead of reading the text. With a frustrated sigh, Beatrice replied that the words simply did not appear on the page. At age 7, she was diagnosed with dyslexia, and suddenly those baffling moments in class made sense. Although it felt like a big label at first, the diagnosis was a relief. It brought understanding to her classmates, teachers, and most of all, to Beatrice herself. She began to realize that dyslexia was not a barrier, but rather a special way of processing information. Over time, caring teachers helped her find learning methods that suited her unique style. Step by step, she started to read with confidence, and school became a place of growth instead of anxiety. In her own words, Beatrice has called dyslexia a magical difference, an ability to see the world from a fresh angle. She speaks out about this topic, reminding others that having dyslexia does not mean a person cannot succeed. On the contrary, she believes it can unlock creative thinking and open paths that ordinary teaching might not explore. Today, Beatrice continues to champion greater understanding and acceptance of those with dyslexia. She hopes that young people with similar struggles will feel less alone, knowing that they too can find support and thrive. Her journey shows that, with kindness, patience, and self-belief, anyone can turn a challenge into a source of strength. Her journey proves that even tough challenges met with hope can lead to growth and wisdom. The emotional toll of her parents' divorce. Princess Beatrice was only 8 years old when her parents, Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, ended their marriage in 1996. The split was hard on Beatrice, who suddenly had to switch between two very different worlds. When she stayed with her mother, Beatrice felt free to just be a normal kid. However, life at the palace demanded a polite, proper princess. Even though her mother tried to protect her from the tabloids, ugly headlines swirled around Sarah's personal scandals. One set of photos in particular showed Sarah in an unflattering situation, and reporters ran wild with the story. The press frenzy upset Beatrice, and rumors began that the palace might try to block Sarah from seeing her children. It caused tension, confusion, and sadness as Beatrice tried to understand what was going on. Royal author Tom Quinn once called it a split world, and that sums up Beatrice's childhood well. She had to grow up fast, learning to handle public attention while coping with her parents' divorce. The media seemed to follow her every move, sometimes digging into her personal life for the next big headline. At the same time, her father was often away with his royal duties, which left Beatrice feeling alone at times. In later interviews, her mother hinted that Andrew's time away while she was pregnant with Beatrice was one factor behind their marital issues. No matter the cause, the experience was emotionally draining for Beatrice. She had to juggle loyalty, heartbreak, and a longing for things to go back to normal. Over time, she learned how to cope, but the emotional scars left by her parents' split remained with her as she moved into adulthood. Today, she remembers that pain. Romantic heartbreak. Romantic heartbreak can strike anyone, even those born into privilege. Princess Beatrice once experienced deep heartbreak that truly tested her courage. She and Dave Clark, a charming man with a job in New York City, shared a serious relationship for a full decade. Their bond seemed close and full of promise. But troubles started when she began yearning for a clear commitment. Eager to settle down, she confronted him with an ultimatum. Either they plan a future together, or they go their separate ways. By this point, Beatrice felt she had waited long enough. To her surprise, Dave refused to propose. Though no public statements revealed the full story behind his choice, Rumors suggest that certain members of the royal family were not fond of him, and this could have influenced his decision. Regardless, the breakup shook Beatrice deeply. It is never easy to walk away from someone you have loved for so long. The fact that he soon proposed to another woman only added to her distress. Barely a year after their split, he got engaged, sending shockwaves through Beatrice's circle of friends and family. By 2018, Dave had tied the knot with someone else, and Princess Beatrice was nowhere to be seen at the wedding. Though she had tried to maintain a gracious public stance by expressing truly good wishes for his engagement, the pain was surely still there. Many sympathized with her, realizing that all the royal titles in the world could not shield her from such heartbreak. Over time, Beatrice moved on with her life and eventually found happiness with another partner. Yet her story of lost love reminds us that heartbreak can humble anyone, even a princess in a palace. Media and public scrutiny. From the moment she was born, Princess Beatrice has lived under the truly unrelenting gaze of the media. Every fashion choice, every public appearance has come under intense spotlight. By the time she was 8, her mother had already shared with journalists that she put Beatrice on a diet, claiming weight issues ran in the family. But this was only the beginning. As she grew older, the spotlight on her looks and style choices became more brutal. The press attacked her for everything from her hair to her hats, often blowing small fads out of proportion. One glaring example of this scrutiny came during Prince William's wedding, where Beatrice's elaborate pretzel hat made headlines around the world. To many, it was a bold fashion statement. To countless critics, it was a reason for mockery. Newspapers and blogs ran stories poking fun at her hat for days, making cruel jokes at her expense. Little did they know how hurtful these jokes could be for someone already self-conscious about her image. Her younger sister, Princess Eugenie, once revealed that Beatrice broke down in tears over a nasty article just minutes before a public outing. That single incident was just one of many that underscored the emotional toll of constant public criticism. Even though the media can be heartless, Beatrice has tried to remain graceful and carry on with royal duties. Over time, she has become more adept at handling the glare of cameras and gossip columns. Sharing her experiences with dyslexia and championing various charities, Beatrice has gradually transformed negative publicity into a platform for positive change. Despite the unkind comments and endless speculation, she continues to stand firm, proving that resilience is often the best answer. Loss of beloved family members. From the earliest days of her royal life, Princess Beatrice has been close to important family figures who played major roles in shaping her. Among them, her grandparents, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, stood out as pillars of strength and wisdom. Sadly, in 2021, the Duke of Edinburgh passed away, bringing a deep sense of loss and heartbreak to Beatrice. During Prince Philip's service of Thanksgiving, many witnessed how grief touched her. In a touching moment, Beatrice was seen wiping away tears as she watched her father escort the Queen. Despite trying to keep her sorrow private, the cameras still captured her honest emotion. It was a raw reminder that even royalty feels pain when losing someone deeply cherished. Princess Beatrice described her grandfather as an incredible mentor. She often recalled special family gatherings where Philip's wit and guiding presence shone through. His passing not only signaled the end of an era, but also affected Beatrice on a personal level. After all, he attended her wedding in a small ceremony just months before he died, a memory she treasures. The heartbreak continued in 2022, when Queen Elizabeth II died. Beatrice had always admired her grandmother's unwavering sense of duty. She even wore one of the Queen's gowns on her special day, representing their close bond. At the funeral, Beatrice was seen crying among the crowds, clearly unable to hide her sadness as the world mourned Britain's longest reigning monarch. These two losses left a lasting mark on Beatrice's heart. Though royal protocol demands poise, she has shown grief does not spare anyone. In interviews, she has thanked supporters for their kindness, using her own sorrow as a testament to the human side of royal life.